Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and explain that clip or what the fuck I'm doing.
Phasmophobia looks like a simple ghost hunting game. You walk into a house, find some evidence, and figure out what kind of ghost you're dealing with. But that's not really what makes it scary, because the longer you play, the more you start to realize it's not the ghost that gets you, it's everything else. The silence, the waiting, the feeling that something is there, even when you can't see it. And somehow, a game with no traditional story ends up creating a fear that kind of feels more than just most horror games. In this video, I'm going to break down why Phasmophobia works so well, the hidden details most players don't think about, and how it generally turns something simple into something genuinely terrifying. On the surface, Phasmophobia is pretty simple. You and a group of players enter a location, set up equipment, gather evidence, and try to figure out what type of ghost you're dealing with. You've got tools like EMF readers, spirit boxes, cameras, everything you would expect from a typical ghost hunting game, and because of that, most people treat it like a co-op puzzle game, something you play with friends, joke around, and try and win as quickly as possible. But that mindset kind of misses the point, because Phasmophobia isn't really about solving the ghost, it's about what happens while you're trying to. Most of the time, nothing is happening. You're standing in a dark room, waiting for a sign, listening for footsteps, watching for movement, hoping something appears. And that waiting is where the game starts to change, because the longer nothing happens, the more your mind starts filling the gaps. Every small noise feels important, every shadow looks like it could be something, and suddenly the game stops being about finding evidence and starts being about whether you even want to stay in the house at all. And that's what makes Phasmophobia so different from most horror games. It doesn't rely on constant scares or scripted moments. Instead, it builds tension slowly until you're not reacting to what the game shows you, but what you think might happen next. And that feeling of not knowing when something's going to happen is where the real horror of Phasmophobia begins. What makes Phasmophobia so effective isn't just what it shows you, it's what it makes you believe. Because unlike most horror games, it doesn't constantly try to scare you, it gives you space. Space to think, to wait, and to imagine what might be there. One of the most important things the game does is make you feel like you're being watched. The ghost reacts to your voice, your presence, even where you are in the house, and because of that, you're never really sure if you're safe. Even when nothing happens, it feels like something could start at any moment, and that constant uncertainty creates a kind of tension that doesn't go away. Most horror games give you some kind of control, a weapon, a way to fight back, a way to escape. Phasmophobia takes that away. When a hunt starts, you don't fight, you hide, and whether you survive or not doesn't always feel like it's up to you. The lack of control is what makes this game feel real, because it stops feeling like a game and starts feeling like a situation. But the most interesting part is how the fear comes from you. The game doesn't need to show you something scary all the time, because your brain is already doing that for you. The silence, the darkness, the waiting, it all builds up, and it continues to build up till even the smallest thing feels overwhelming. And by time something actually happens, you've already scared yourself. And that's why Phasmophobia works so well, not because it constantly scares you, but because it teaches you to be afraid even when nothing's there. After all the main objectives would be done, I would often let my teammate go into the house while I sit back recording in the van, because out of pure fear, I was just not wanting to go in, to be fair, and I'm not a pussy for that. It's realistic, and I would probably do that in real life. Phasmophobia doesn't follow the usual rules of horror. It doesn't rely on constant jump scares or a deep complex story. Instead, it does something much simpler and somehow much more effective. It puts you in a quiet, empty space and lets your own mind do the rest. Because at the end of the day, the game isn't really about ghosts. It's about anticipation. It's about the feeling that something might happen even when nothing is. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it is to convince yourself that you're safe. And that's why Phasmophobia feels different, not because it shows you something terrifying, but because it makes you expect it. And sometimes that's even worse. Because in Phasmophobia, the scariest part isn't the ghost, it's the moment right before you see it. That'll be all for today's video, and unlike other co-op games, this game may have got me just a little bit, and I'm not usually the one to be scared by horror games, but if you did enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe, and maybe even a comment if you're interested. I'll probably respond to it, to be honest. And if you did like this video, I have other videos like this on my channel which are really easy to find. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Oh
Garage?
no, not again. It is officially Obama, not
It's.
again.
I think it's garage. It's either garage or the laundry room. Yeah, it's definitely laundry room. Like, definitely laundry room.